love this man. Love everything about him. Love the way he played the game. Love the way he comports himself as a human being on planet Earth, and that includes being a friend of this program and not looking down on us because he was drunkenly accosted by Chris Law in Canton, Ohio last August. He is none other than Jack Youngblood. How are you, Blood?
Better than I deserve, brother. How you doing?
I am doing great. What do you think about the LA Rams existing once again, Jack? You ever think you'd see it?
To be honest, no, I did not think that would ever happen again. This is a huge move on Kroenke's part. I mean, hasn't it been an interesting card game?
Oh, to say the least.
I mean, they've gone from one side to the other, and then all of a sudden, he pushes all in, and here we go.
Yeah, I'd say all in. I mean, it seems to me the amount of checks he needs to write, like right now or within the next couple of weeks, is more than what the Powerball winner would get tonight if they win just straight up, Jack.
I know. It's going to be interesting to see how this unfolds now with the options that San Diego and Oakland have, to still play a part in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've still got some relationships at the office in St. Louis, and it's such it involves so many people.
Mm-hmm. It's
just not taking the emblem and moving it to LA and start playing out there again. I mean, you're involving involving people's lives, not just a game.
Yeah, I know, and fans too. Obviously, when a team arrives home, they are feted, and the team when they leave the city, it's the exact opposite. What do you think about the marriage of the NFL and Los Angeles, Jack? I mean, it's been 20 some odd years, and now it's back, and a lot of people think that there's a blasé attitude towards it. I'd love to know what you think about the ability for the NFL in the Los Angeles area to be married to one another.
Well, it's the second largest media area on the planet. So, there's a lot to be said about that. The one thing that everyone should realize is that you better have a really good franchise. You be in the hunt every day, or else there's just so much going on for people to do in Los Angeles, and that affects the outcome there.
Pro Football Hall of Famer Jack Youngblood here on the Rich Eisen Show. What was it like playing football in Los Angeles when you did it, Jack? What was it like?
Well, you were a superstar, and I was shocked by that. Small town boy coming from Florida, sand in my shoes, and going to LA, and all of a sudden there's Hollywood, and there's all kind of things going on in that such a huge market. It was an incredible experience. It really was, and I want to go down that tunnel one more time there in the Coliseum before they. I don't know if they're going to tear it down and do something with it or make it a memorial, but that's an experience of a lifetime right there.
No, they're actually renovating it right now. I mean, USC is going to be playing in that for a very long time, and obviously the Rams they are going to run through the LA Coliseum tunnel coming up this September. And Jack, I mean, if you want to do it, I have a feeling they'll let you do it.
Can I put my cleats on again?
Yeah, Jack. How many snaps do you think you could give the Rams right now, Jack? How many snaps? Seriously.
I can give them one. That's for sure.
And what was your go-to move, Jack? What was your go-to move?
Up the field and underneath that big ugly offensive tackle.
And that's it?
That's it.
What do you think Deacon and Merlin would think right now if they knew the LA Rams existed again, Jack?
They would be proud of the move, I think, both of them. they would certainly be involved. Want to be back involved with the franchise again. I mean, that was their home, my home, for 14 years, 20 years actually, and they would be very pleased with the move.
Jack Youngblood, Hall of Famer, joining me here. I'm keen to know what you think of some of the games that have been played out lately with some back and forth between players, certainly in the Cincinnati and Pittsburgh game on Saturday night, Jack, where hits from Vontae's Burfict, where he is now suspended for it, back when you played was the stuff of highlights and things that was lionized about the game and how the game may not be better for it, or at least it's hypocritical to criticize players for playing that way right now. How would you take that stance, Jack?
Well, first of all, you got to remember that nothing done on the football field is by chance. You know exactly what you're doing out there, and I take the side that somebody's got to get control of the inmates and make them understand that you have to have some integrity and some discipline to your play, or else you're gonna find yourself in situations like they did, and you lose the ball game for it. Mm-hmm. So they've got to get control of this thing again and keep on both sides of the ball.
Well, I mean, and somebody who might be hearing you say that, Jack, and I'll just throw this out there too. I mean, Deacon, who again we lionize the way he plays. There used to be, as you know, offensive linemen who would take the screws on their helmet and have it stick out the other way because they knew when Deacon was going to head slap him, at least his hand would hit. It would hit something that was protruding from his helmet, right, Jack? And so is it just a different era or a different set of rules that you need to play under? What do you think?
Well, those offensive linemen, they do crazy things in the first place.
Right.
I mean, they
sure.
They're subject to that all the time. The game is fast, it's violent, and you have to have some control on how you perform on the field, and a lot of that comes from the integrity of how you want to do your job. Do you want to do it perfectly and responsibly, or do you just want to go out there and be a thug? There's two different types of players there, and I think that the game is as good as it's ever been, and we don't want to tarnish that image.
So who do you think's the most fearsome defensive player that's out there right now, Jack? What do you like?
Well, that Watts boy is pretty good now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He plays the game like I think I tried to. He's something to be reckoned with. I mean, you've got to consider him every snap from an offensive standpoint, because he'll mess up the play. That's for sure.
Well, the young man Aaron Donald, who's about to start playing his football here in Los Angeles, he's pretty darn good too, Jack. I mean, the way that he plays right there in the middle of that Rams defensive line is something else.
Yeah, he's a good young player, and if he keeps his head straight and continues to try and get better every day at practice, he'll go a long ways with that.
Yeah. And then last thing I noticed on your Twitter feed, @TheBlood85, your avatar is Chris Long of the Rams.
Yep.
Why is that,
Yep.
Jack?
Yeah, well, he's left defensive end, and he's Howie's son, and he plays like the game is supposed to be played. He's got all the talent in the world, and I just love the kid, and he's got he's a great personality, and just love him, and I want our Deacons and mine and Merlin's legacy of great defensive linemen to continue on. And Chris Chris has got that ability.
Jack, before I let you go, I have to reunite you with your good friend Chris Law, who's sober right now.
Oh, come on.
It's okay.
Jack, I got a question for you. Obviously, you were embraced by the St. Louis Rams fan base. How do you think the legends of the St. Louis Rams era will be embraced by LA Rams fans, like Kurt, like Marshall, and those guys?
I think the welcome home will go on for years, because they went and performed extremely well in St. Louis. I think they'll welcome with open arms.
Yeah, I've seen LA fans approach Warner and Falk with reverence and pace, and those guys too, Jack. And it's just I can't believe it. And I think 100% the Rams will probably be reaching out to you in short order to have you run out of a tunnel in the LA Coliseum in September.
Well, we'll put the message out there anyway.
Well, you do. Well, we just did. And then when you come out here to Los Angeles, we'll have you right here in the studio. Okay? I'd love it.
You bet. Anytime, man.
Thanks for calling in, Jack. You got it. That's Jack Youngblood.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.